At 5:30 a.m., on a sleepy Thursday, I watched a figure in a lavender bathrobe float across my porch light-footed and careful, like she'd been doing this forever. If I hadn't happened to glance out my bedroom window right then, I might have missed it, and honestly, my whole life would have spun differently. But there she was, clear as day, Linda Hensley, the self-proclaimed queen of our HOA, hunched over my mailbox, her purse wide open, sifting through my mail with the delicate care of a surgeon and the confidence of a thief who thought she owned the street. She plucked out envelopes, the important ones of course, tucked them deep in her bag, then fanned the rest to make it look untouched. The irony? She never noticed the spring wreath above my mailbox was actually hiding a camera. And the plain white van, parked 3 houses down, wasn't lost. It was a surveillance team, tracking her every move for days. You see, this wasn't some petty neighborhood spat. This was federal mail theft. And that morning, the trap was about to slam shut hard. As Linda scurried back to her perfectly trimmed Victorian, cinching her bathrobe like nothing happened, I felt a rush of vindication and a strange pang of disbelief. For months, I've been screaming into the void about missing bills, vanished packages, credit score nosedives because I never saw half my mail. People call me paranoid, said I should relax, who'd steal mail. Not here. But now, watching Linda's little ritual play out on my phone, I knew it. I wasn't crazy, just alone in noticing the rot. By the time the postal inspector in the van radioed his team, Linda's tidy world was already cracking, right there on her own front lawn. Let me back up a sec. 3 months earlier, I'd moved into Crestwood Estates after landing a PR gig downtown. The neighborhood? Picture perfect, every blade of grass. Every mailbox aligned like a Norman Rockwell painting. The realtor bragged about the active HOA, like it was a badge of honor. Events, landscaping, high property values. She didn't mention Linda Hensley. Trouble started almost immediately. The week I moved in, I was expecting a new debit card, a work contract, my last paycheck from my old job. Nothing showed up. Post office swore mail was delivered. Bank said the card was sent. Boss resent the contract digitally, which felt like an insult. Then bills started disappearing. Power company called about overdue payments, but I'd never even seen the bill. Internet, car insurance, even a traffic ticket gone. Within 2 months, my credit report was a train wreck, late fees piling up, missed notices. I became a fixture in my own mailbox, waiting for the carrier, scanning the street like a hawk. And that's when I really started noticing Linda. She'd stand there in her driveway, sun hat, gloves, arms crossed, not gardening, just watching me with the cold precision of someone on patrol. She looked like she belonged in a museum. Silver hair, perfect posture, house a showcase of symmetry, flower beds so precise you'd think she used a ruler. One afternoon she walked over, handed me a heavy binder. Community standards, she called it, but it read more like a manifesto. Curtain colors, grass height, even the style of doormat and the angle of your mailbox. She said it was her duty to enforce every rule, and in the same breath told me my welcome mat was an inch too far out, my fern not approved. She smiled, but it was the kind that never reached her eyes. I keep an eye on everyone, she said, which chilled me straight to the bone. Her scrutiny only got worse. Anytime I stepped outside, she'd materialize, commenting on my grass, my parking, my choice of holiday wreath. Meanwhile, my mail kept vanishing. I tracked everything obsessively, desperate for a pattern. The mail carrier's schedule seemed random, always slipping past me. One Saturday, while planting some flowers, I met Mr. Thompson, a quiet, kindly man from next door. He handed me a misdelivered package, mentioned he'd seen Linda at my mailbox some mornings, thought she was helping. That was the moment it clicked. Linda wasn't helping anybody. She was watching, controlling, meddling in everyone's lives under the banner of community standards. So I called the post office, got through to Inspector Alvarez. He really listened, told me mail theft was a federal crime, and yeah, sometimes HOA types got involved. He proposed a sting. I agreed immediately. I ordered a camera hidden in a wreath, set it up, waited. The first 3 days, nothing. Day 4 just passed on. There she was, Linda, bathrobe and all, sorting my mail, plucking out bills, stuffing them away, putting the rest back like nothing happened. My blood boiled as I watched from my desk at work. I sent Alvarez the footage. "This is gold," he said, and started laying out the real sting-marked envelopes. A decoy package, full surveillance. We set it for the next week. I barely slept, mind racing. Why would someone like Linda risk so much? Was it about control, or was there something darker at play? Tuesday, the marked mail and decoy package landed in my box. Wednesday passed nothing. I started to worry Linda was onto us. Alvarez told me to be patient. Thursday, right at 5:30 a.m., my phone buzz motion detected. There was Linda again, methodical as ever, scooping up the marked mail, taking the decoy, and even a few extra pieces for good measure. The van down the street sprang to life. Within minutes, shouts echoed up the street. I pulled on jeans, heart pounding, and watched from my window as agents surrounded Linda's front porch. Linda, wild-eyed in her robe, flailing, protesting, while an agent calmly read her rights and flashed the evidence. My mail, the decoy, all right there. Another snapped pictures. Neighbors started gathering. Mr. Thompson gawked from his porch. A family down the block stood frozen in their driveway. By 7 a.m., Alvarez called me. "She's in custody. We found more." And oh, they had. A search of Linda's house revealed a whole basement stuffed with stolen mail, all neatly organized by address stuff dating back years. Turns out, I wasn't the only victim. Neighbors reported missing bills, lost Social Security checks, medical records that never arrived, late fees they couldn't explain. It all traced back to Linda. That day, her mugshot was everywhere: local news, community bulletins, HOA websites. The HOA scrambled, called an emergency meeting that afternoon. The board was in shambles. Neighbors vented about Linda's years of bullying, her obsession with the rules, her dismissive attitude whenever they brought up missing mail. One guy shouted, "She stole from us," while lecturing about community values. The HOA was forced to reform secure mailboxes, checks on board power, apologies all around. The Postal Service took responsibility, helped fix my credit, and waived a mountain of late fees. Alvarez kept me updated. Linda pleaded guilty to a list of charges as long as her rulebook: mail theft, wire fraud, conspiracy, restitution. Her operation had run nearly 2 years, with evidence of her selling Social Security numbers and bank info to identity theft rings. The FBI got involved, and losses topped $200,000. Investigators found journals where Linda justified herself as helping negligent neighbors, but by the end, she was bragging about outsmarting the whole street. Her psychiatrist called it narcissism run wild. The HOA got sued for not catching her sooner. A new president, Mrs. Lynn, a retired librarian, pushed real reforms. Background checks, term limits, external audits. People started trusting the neighborhood again. Mailbox cameras became standard. Property values even ticked up. Linda's house sold fast. She tried to run, but the law caught up. At her sentencing, prosecutors asked for 4 years, citing her betrayal of trust. Everything she'd built, her perfect reputation, her assets, her journals, was seized or sealed away, now part of law enforcement training and HOA debate. The community, scarred but stronger, formed a watch program. Linda's last public momentum mugshot, cuffed on her porch, became a local legend. People stopped being scared, started looking out for each other, and for once, the rules started working for everyone. So here I am, still standing. You ever had a fight for something nobody else believed in? What would you have done? Let it go? Or stood up like I did? Let me know what you think. Who's really to blame? The thief, the enablers, or the system that let her thrive? Drop your thoughts below.